Hi, this is Nicole Santa Maria with Miami Handwriting OT for Real Life. We have been in school about 20 days from when we got back to school. We started school and we had to stop school this year because of the hurricane. If we count from the first day of school in August, maybe we're about 45 days. So we've had our first progress report. And we may have had some requests from the teacher to come and talk with you about your child. If you are a new parent, your mom and dad, if your student is new to going to school in kindergarten, this may be a bit of a scary, kind of concerning time. Wondering, why does my teacher want to talk to me about my child? What did my child do? What did I do? All these doubts start coming into our heads. So I want to give you like 2 or 3 tips on what to do when you get that phone call from your teacher. Hey, Mrs. Smith, or an email. I'd like to know when you're available. I'd like to talk to you about little Mary. Because I don't want you to go into the meeting in like either freak out mode or big mama bear mode. So let's go over a couple of things that'll help get the most out of that meeting. Number one, hopefully you did pretty good research and you chose the best school for your child at the time. And know that you did that. You made a good choice at the time for your child. You may not like that your teacher's calling you in, but know that overall you made a good choice for bringing your child to that school. You researched, you talked, you planned, you visited the school before. Also, keep the perspective that your teacher, Mrs. Jones, let's call her, she's the expert in Mrs. Jones' kindergarten class. Okay? So that's going to keep us from freaking out when she says something that we maybe comes as a surprise to us, or maybe that we don't want to hear, that our child may be struggling in kindergarten. Let her know that she's going out of her way to talk to you about this and to bring this to your attention. She may have something great to say. She may say, your kid's awesome, and I just wanted to tell you. And that would be great. And then you'd just feel awesome. But if she does have some concerns, know that she's coming in from a place of, I'm the kindergarten teacher in this kindergarten class. And this is what I'm seeing, and I'm going to go out of my way to explain to you my concerns. So once she does that, take a deep breath. Give yourself a little squeeze under the table if you have to. Listen to what she has to say. Just listen. And I'd like to give these questions as a suggestion. What has been working for you in the classroom as a teacher? Like, what have you done? And what have you seen works? And what have you seen that doesn't work? And that's very important feedback for you. So that's one question. And then the other question is, well, how do you think I can best help my child from home? Because we have, sometimes we either go into shutdown as I have no idea what to do, or we go into super overload mode where we're coming up with, we're going to do 65,000 things. Again, if we're coming from the perspective that Mrs. Jones is the expert in Mrs. Jones' kindergarten class, she may have some really good, solid recommendations as far as what can we do to help Mary learn her sounds. It may not mean we have to go straight to the psychologist and spend thousands of dollars in testings. It might not mean you need to go to your occupational therapist. It might mean let's try a couple of different ways to help her learn her sounds. Now, the answers to those questions are very important. What she's done and what's worked and what doesn't work gives you information on 2 things. How Mrs. Jones manages her class. And it gives you feedback as to, well, I've never tried that before. I'm going to try that at home. Or I do that all the time at home and it works well at home and it doesn't work in class. So remember, you're just kind of collecting data at this point. The other part to that, when you're going to ask her, what do you think we can do to support, them learning their sounds in the classroom? Again, you're just going to listen. And understand and listen. And then after that, you can say, okay, I'm going to get back to you, or you can either agree, or you can say, I'm going to think about this and I'll email you tomorrow and let you know what we can do. And once you come home, that part is the action part. You have to figure out, maybe I'm just going to study a little bit of extra time. Maybe I do need to go get a professional opinion. Maybe I don't like anything that Mrs. Jones said about my child, and maybe I don't like anything Mrs. Jones said about what she's doing to help my child. Maybe I really like how she interacted with my child, and I really like how she's trying to support him in the classroom. And I really love her suggestion. And sometimes it just needs to take a moment before you respond with what you're going to do. So again, these are just some tips that I know work when you're having these conferences. Figure out what the problem is, what's worked, what hasn't worked, and figure out what the recommendation is. What's the action plan? Because a lot of times we leave those meetings and there's no action because we get so stuck on what's wrong that we don't get to the action part. So listen to what the teacher's done that's worked and what hasn't worked. So if she's calling you in for a meeting, chances are what she's done hasn't worked, and you want to know what that is. And then what's her suggestion? What's the recommendation? What do we do next? And then you're the parent. Ultimately, it's going to be up to you as a parent to decide, what you're going to do. But don't discount what your teacher is telling you, just because we may not like what she has to say. Okay. Again, as always, this is a hard subject, but I really feel like those two tips really make these meetings maximize the value of these meetings. Remember, your teacher's reaching out to you from a good place, from a very good place. Okay, so again, as always, this is Nicole with Miami Handwriting. Feel free to reach out to me if there's any other subjects you want me to cover. I'd love to hear it. I just know this is kind of like a hot topic at school for both teachers and parents. So, okay, I hope that this helps, and reach out to me. I'd love to hear what you guys want to talk about. All right, have a great day.